Hello, today we are going to take a look at process of replacing dead battery on this beautiful rack mount 2U East power supply. This is unit that I purchased for my home lab, and I'm going to tell you why I've decided to go with that unit, because if you take a look at the specification, it is not that great, but it have different aspects that it basically blossom. When we very briefly take a look at the user manual, and this is my model 650 VA, which gives you a resistive load of 360 watt in form factor of 2U. This is a rack 19 2U. This is a terrible ratio. The answer why I go with this unit is that it is quiet. It is big, it is massive, and it have a good amount of room for cooling, so it does not require a fan constantly blowing and creating a noise like you would see on a 1U unit that's got a limited space. Everything is cramped, packed tight, and you have to blow the air to make it cool. Another bad thing about that unit that is actually a benefit from my point of view is just only one 7 amp battery. You might ask yourself why that can be a positive aspect. The idea is that I don't want to lose power on my rack. My idea is that I would like to have a small device that will let me just shut down my system, but I've got two Goal Zeros chained together, and that second Goal Zero got also a 40 amp hour battery, so this is my power bank, that Goal Zero. And the idea is with this small UPS that is rated 360 watt, in case of power failure, and if I want to power my rack, I will just run a physical cable from one of the Goal Zero into that. And if I don't, I will have like the 10 minutes to make a decision whether I want to make a clean shutdown, and that's all. I will just turn it off, and that's all. I'm not going to touch my Goal Zeros. If I want, I can plug Goal Zero to that and power on my rack. I don't want to spend money on the batteries that are going to be like on the APC. You can have multiple racks just for the battery. You can have internal multiple batteries. And I don't want to pay for that twice. I would like to have another Goal Zero, and because the Goal Zero I can make a decision, I can take it out. With a rack mount APC with a huge battery, I can do nothing. I can grab two Goal Zeros, I can put it into a car, and that make a lot of sense for me. Let's first take a look at the problem. So we've got that very nice screen. We can try to power it on. The battery is charged and it have a cold start. The battery, as you can see, was reading 88% and then suddenly die as soon as the inverter kick in. I expect that one cell of that battery is dead, and that create that false thing that is selling the 88%, but as soon as it being loaded, it will drop to the below the 10 volts or something like that and turn itself off. So we are going to replace the very cheap single battery. If we take a look at the back, we can see that we've got a surge protection for the RJ45 plugs. We've got a UPS for the control. We've got the AC input. We also have got the output ports that are using a standardized computer plugs. I believe that was like C13, but you've got no problem in purchasing adapter like this. This is a European plug, so you just plug it in and you've got a standard socket, or in my case I'm going to have a rack, so I'm going to have a PDU, the power distribution board, so I'm going to use those ports. here is the rest rating on the UPS 650 VA. So let's open this unit, let's replace the battery, and let's make a small experiment. All screw remove and we can take a look what's inside. And just like I told you, if you take a nice peek what's inside, we've got completely passive design. We do not have any fan that can produce noise. We've got the transformer, beefy transformer to the metal chassis, also acting as a heatsink. We've got our inverter board, relays, and the battery. So as you can see, so let's remove the battery. Let's put a brand new, and we are going to be good to go. So here is the battery bracket. Bracket undone, and we can unplug our battery. I'm going to start with the negative, then the positive. That one is go. Here is our brand new. I'm going to connect the positive, the negative. We are going to mount our bracket back. We can try to power it on without the enclosure just to make sure that we do not have any short. But as you can see, the inverter is working. The battery percent is not going down. We can silence the alarm. 230 volts, 50 hertz. Everything is working fine. Let's turn it off and put the enclosure. We've got everything put back, and we can take a look at the experiment that I really wanted to do. So we've got our output. I'm wondering why they are divided. Maybe this is not a protected output. Maybe this is just a chain of input and the output. Sometimes there is a bypass, but it should be more clearly marked. So I don't know, maybe they didn't have a 4-socket terminal block. I have no idea. So we are going to put here a 100-watt lamp. I'm going to just plug it like this. And here we are going to connect just a standard PC cord. Everything is connected and we can start doing our experiment. So this is the AC input for the UPS. I'm going to plug it in, but we are not going to turn it on. I'm going to use the cold start on the UPS. We cold started it without the mains. We've got 0% load. I'm going to silence the alarm and let me put like a bulb. As you can see, the bulb is working. We've got a 16% of load. So the idea is that this is the normal thing that's going on. The power has gone. That was like plugged into the AC socket. I'm shutting down my computer and everything is cool. I can turn it off. But just imagine that I'm copying LTO tape and I'm seeing that the percents are dropping on rapidly and I want to run longer. I take out the plug from the AC socket. I grab the extension cord. I plug it into the Goal Zero. I turn the Goal Zero on and it will take the 100% 100-watt bulb and the UPS is nicely thinking that is getting AC. If in the middle time the AC came back, I just unplug it. Everything is working like it was. I go into the real socket and I put it back and it switched nicely. So this is my perfect setup. Just imagine that you've got a second Goal Zero and the external battery. That will be my power wall, the poor man's power wall. And I can power my IT equipment for a much longer time, but without investing money in purchasing just a rack UPS for a single use. Here I've got a multiple uses. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you find it interesting. See you next time and bye bye.